Welcome. It's me, the Venom main nobody knows a shit about. And so, what I'm going to do today is a general talk about the character. This is totally unscripted and basically around about the character as a whole, like his pressure, matchups, neutral, and some conclusions I arrived after playing this character for like 2 years. Already 2 years, but well, Uh, actually, I'm not that good at the game. I'm not that good at the game. I'm pretty bad at it because, well, I don't invest to this game as much time as I maybe should. But it doesn't matter. So, what is Venom? He is a character that does fine at every range. Like he can control the screen. He can he can play mid range like 5K, 2D, 2S, 4S. He does okay at mid range. Now, where he excels at is during pressure. It's at close range. And give me a second. It's at close range, and it's what makes him a character. So he has the close slash, which, as you see, it cranks a lot the guard bar from the opponent. 4 close slash, and he's already flashing. He, of course, has this thing, carcass rate, which is +8 and block. But there's a thing with carcass rate is that it has a gap between close slash and it. So if I try to do, wait, if I try to do this, I will die. Of course, it's not universal. You need to find out with your character. Some ideas are like Slayer can FB pile bunker, Jam can level 2 Ryujin, Order Soul I think he can Fafnir. It's up to you to find out. But if I'm at point blank, totally point blank, there's no gap. Let me do it well. Well, no. Okay, I was wrong. It's the slag gap, not, but it's not a gap. It's not a gap where you can do anything universal like walking, jumping. For example, if he tries to jump, he gets sagged out. If he tries to backdash, he gets tagged out. Of course, some characters can backdash better than others, like I don't know, Johnny, Zappa, Potemkin. I think he can. So yeah, it's up to you to find. Let's back to what to the start. Let's say that Soul knows that there is a gap and he can mash out of it. So, but instead of doing carcass rate, I can do this. Stingray, which has no gap, and I can frame trap after it. So, well, if instead of doing a DP, he does a normal strike, it's a frame trap. Of course, it doesn't work versus Soul because it's Soul. Like he has 5K, but versus a normal character like Johnny, he can. So, 1 second. Yes, it's a frame trap versus a normal character. And there's also another thing that Wait, let me change the stage. There's another thing that makes Venom pressure pretty strong is that, as you see, I can bait Soul's volcanic viper. So he does it like instead of doing carcass, I do carcass feint. I cancel it. So it's a better way to bait stuff like that. And that's what makes Venom's pressure so strong is that you cannot directly counter it. You can do some things. It depends on the character, but in general, you can't. Like for example, let's say this. If it comes out, fuck. It's Goblet. Oh wait, I did wrong. Come on. Like that thing is gapless. If you try to do normal things. Of course it hits on counter hit, so it's that thing I just did. It's totally gapless. So this thing, it's gapless if you try to do like jump or 2p or whatever. Um, there's another thing with Venom's pressure is that he has a lot of options to counter your habits on defense. Like if you like to jump, he can 6-8 you. He can uh, air dash, instant air dash. If you don't like to block, as you see, he can do carcass feint. He also has a frame trap, which is 5-8 W Scorp. He also has safe jumps, pretty fine safe jumps. So for example, if you say, let's say that memory guard wake up. So let's say I hit Soul, I I knock him down. So safe jump. Oh wait, I did it wrong. It's a safe jump. And if he chooses to block, like if he just doesn't blocks, I get to continue. I'm messing up a lot. Like, wait. Fuck. Oh my god. Oh wait, I think I got it. He can do a mix-up, he can do either Mad Struggle, or a 2K. So you still have to guess after if you choose to block. So but if he does it like instead of with this ball, he does it like this one, which is the K ball. He loses the mix-up in exchange. So for example, let's say that I do this. I did an air dash, but that air dash, it's not TP safe. It's not. I can do this as a safe jump, but I lose the mix-up in exchange. I already make a video about it. Which is another thing, is that if you try to jump, he can air throw you. Like if you try to air dash out of it, he can throw you. So let's say that your type guard Fowless on reversal action. memory. Let's say that I make you look from this range. You try to jump, he autos you, you die. For example, I auto you again, I get to continue my shit. So yeah, Venom can adapt. Venom can turn around his options on offense pretty well to counter your habits on defense. That's another thing of why I think his pressure is pretty strong. Besides the fact that you cannot counter it directly. Like he's not like Potemkin where you can just insta block everything on basically every spot and then backdash and punish him for his troubles. Which is other thing? Oh, his normals. So he has pretty long normals. He has wait. He has Fares. Like look at the range. And 2S, which is frame 6, which is criminal for his range. But there's a problem with those two, is that Fares extends your horbox and it's like -5 on hit. Extend your horbox, you can air dash over it, like it's extremely horizontal. Same thing with 2S. And the thing is that despite 2S being a low, it's not that low. You can low profile it, so let's say I throw a 2S, and while I did a 2S, Sol went under it last, so it's low, but it's not that low. Same thing with Forest. And another thing with Forest is that it extends your horbox. Like you see here from Venom's hand with the Q, the horbox is extended a little bit further. You can check out the hitbox on that loop. So, but despite of all, he has those normals are pretty good for creating space and making the opponent respect you. Ah, yes, I forgot. I forgot about it. Other thing that you can do about close slash, which is, let's say, a character with a strong backdash. Oh wait, give me a second. Guard frame is on. Okay. So let's say he does the classic, the close slash carcass, but you can insta block the third hit. You can insta block the third hit and work from there. Like for example, I think Johnny can do something like this, and probably he can without need to insta block. So keeping in mind this, it is pretty important. Like you can insta block this. For example, if I try to jump without insta blocking, I can't. But if I do, I can jump out. If I insta block close slash third hit. That's other thing. Of course, I don't think you can if he does a stingering. Let's say. You can jump. You get counter hit. Oh wait, let's try again because the garbar was flashing. You can jump, as you can see in the inputs. If I get the insta block, as you saw, I was holding up backwards, up back, and it couldn't jump. So yeah, that's main general things about Venom's pressure, like close slash carcass rate has a gap. You can always insta block, close slash third hit. Venom can bait you if he knows that you know that close slash carcass has a gap. He can bait you and punish you pretty hard. He can also save jump. He can also save jump you. Other thing about Venom in his pressure are his mix-ups. Like the mix-ups, the Venom mix-ups are fine. Like he's not Milia, but he's neither um, a I don't know. He's neither Cliff. Cliff. I don't know if about Cliff mixes, but for giving an example, so let's say there was a type guard limited, wake up, off. And so for example, I I throw him like I knock down Johnny. Fuck, I messed up. The cable will hit as a MIDI when he wakes up. And from there, again, fuck, I can do a mix-up. I can do either air dash or a low, or a 2k low. So yeah, he has other mix-ups like TK My Struggle. He can also do FB Man Struggle, which is on the screen something like this. If I do it, whatever. Yeah, he has TK Man Struggle. He has the throw. He can also do this, like Carcass fainting to throw. He can also do TK Man Struggle that weaves. Like the animation comes out but it doesn't hit. It doesn't get active, so because you land too fast. So you can fake overheads and do either a throw or a 2k. About TK My Struggle, you can it has a you can mash 2p out of it, like again to the char select. For example, let's say that Venom does it. I can mash a 2p out of it. And let's say I do it late. I can mash a 2p. But now we were talking about every my struggle I can mash. And taking my struggle in first break is like plus 90. Like 10 plus 9. I don't know the exact number, I don't talk English. That's our thing to keep in mind. All his matchups, I think, in my opinion, Venom matchup speed is like pretty bad. Well, not that bad, but it's not the best. Like he has a lot of unfavorable, like a lot of disadvantage matchups. Like the only one he has the advantage by a little, just a little, it's Sky, but at the same time, it's pretty even because because both Kai and Venom does the same things. They're the same character at the end. The thing is that Venom can cover angles that Kai don't. The balls can cover angles that Stanage doesn't. The balls also clash with Stanage, but Kai pressure is easier. He has easier mixes with that 19 frame unblockable Gritsever, and Yeah, his pressure in general is easier. He's more straightforward. He has more plus frame in his normals, but rather than Venom, that he does not has plus frames in his normals. His worst matchups for Venom are Zappa, Chip, Milia. This is in my opinion, and Baiken, because Zappa and Baiken, you totally this besides of totally out neutraling you, you have to weigh completely different your pressure game, because Zappa can get a summon while he's blocking. If that summon is the dog, you're fucked up because he can control the dog. Done. Cheap. He's extremely fast. He escapes neutral with the teleport. He totally sets. He totally decides the pace of the match. So the best you can do, like in my opinion, the only way to beat Chip and Milia is to be better than them at the game. It's the only way. In rough matchups, like disadvantage matchup, I think Cliff, Jam, Slayer, but people say it's even, but I don't think so, because keeping him out it's very hard, you and you can do al there's you can do limited. There's not much the things that you can do on Aoki if he has 25 meter. Another rough matchup is Order Soul because of jumping H. Faust because it's Faust. Bridget, he totally outbox you. May, she's extremely annoying, similar to Order Soul. Even matchups, I think Soul, Potemkin, Justice, Axel. If someone tells you that says that Venom beats Potemkin, he's lying. Most Venom matchups are extremely snowball. Like, if one of them gets the hit, it's probably over. They're in the round. About about the mirror, like Venom versus Venom, it's kind of curious because first of all, mirrors are awful to play, and because Venom lack of defensive options. Because as a Venom player, you need to rely a lot on defense. You need to not rely, but know how to use the universal mechanics of the game. You need a, which means having a strong fundamental defense like insta block, dead angle, flawless defense. I cannot say if a slashback, like a slashback in some things are important, especially versus Saba, but apart from there, nothing else. That, and because, as I say at the beginning, Venom gets Venom with his lack of defensive options gets absolutely steamrolled by his totally strong pressure. So I already talked about the character in general, his pressure, matchups, mirror. I think I can talk about more like some guidelines and conclusions I arrived to the character when learning him. Like, you see Venom matches, Venom high level matches, and it's fucking, and it's an absolute craziness. There's a lot of possibilities you can do in the corner, in your pressure, in your setups, in the neutral, that you say, man, where do I even begin with a character that has so many options, with a character with that infinite skill ceiling, with so many possibilities? Where do I even begin with? Well, first of all, I think that the first important thing is to having a throw game. Like, you throw the opponent, and what happens when Venom gets a throw? Well, he gets a triple setup. And what can I do? What can Venom do after a triple setup? Something like that. I messed up, but He can not only carry you to send you to back to the corner, but he can also do some decent mix-ups in the process. Also, an air throw game is not only underground, like an air throw. It's extremely important, the air throw. Like, as a Venom player, this is arguably the most important skill to have, having good air throws. Because this is your actual end tier. 6p is fine, but it's absolutely no reward for an extremely good hitbox. Like the most you can get out of it is uh, this, but let's say that you're lucky and you hit him on the right spot, you can get a combo out of it, head drop it, but you get the idea. So as a first point, having a throw game, both ground and air throw game is important. Like when you now again, your throw, it's probably one of your most important mix-up options because Venom is one of those characters that actually gets a reward of his throw. It's not like Soul that he throws you and the most he can do is an OTG. Um, which is another thing you can do with air throw, like knowing how to connect, confirm. I mean, it's important. Like the basic shit is JPS, SH, you knock him down, but you can also get a pretty low air throw close to the ground. And what you can do 6k into shit. But you can also get a higher air throw, which okay, let's see. Let's see if I can. Let's say that your opponent is extremely high. You get the FRC. Oh wait, that was too low. Why I can't do it, man? What the fuck? Oh my god. There he is. You can get a. You need if he's extremely high, you FRC the air throw and do things. So that's the first point. Both ground and air throw game, especially air throw because it's your main aim tier, which is another thing. Having air to ground confirms. Like, oh wait, something like this. It's important. That also goes into the first point, which is the air throw. Learning how to confirm of your air throw is very important. And air throw ground confirms because if you watch the high level Venom matches, you will realize that green mind Japanese Venom, Fino, that everyone loves, all the confirms he gets is an air to ground confirm. Air to ground confirm always. Something like this. Well, it could be whether a JH ender or something like this. And if he gets a confirm on the ground, it's always with H Stinger FRC. So if I can do it, there it is. And the third point is to work on your pressure. because Venom at a high level requires you to have a very strong offense. So let's say that your opponent likes to, as I said, likes to jump. You can do a few things to catch him down, like 6H or jump into an air dash. I know I can do it. I cannot do it. There it is. Something like this. 6H, an air dash, or you can drone, neutral jump, and air throw him, like this. It's also a valid option. Now let's say that if they're mashing a lot, like instead of dual selection, instead of jumping, they're pressing buttons. You can do 5K 5H, which is a natural frame trap, or 5H into W Scarp. Now let's say that they're blocking a lot. They're respecting you more than they should. So for example, where is it? Limited, normal. So for example, you knock him down. Something I like to do is 2D, 2 balls, throw. That could be an option. You can also mix it up, because since instead of throw you can do either a close slash, which is a frame trap, and you can also use close slash for option select, if you see in the inputs, and doing forward S plus H. There's one trick I saw from Fino that he runs at you, goes back to neutral for a few frames, and then does the option select. So when done properly, it looks like he just runs and throws you like that. Like that. So yeah, those are the three things. Having a throw game, learning how to compare with your whether ground throw or air throw, having air to ground confirms, and being very good at your press, like having your charge and point, knowing how to punish opponent habits. I showed you some ways to do. And that implies having both your execution and FRCs on point. And yeah, those are some three guidelines I can say for a new Venom player. So, but well, if you're a beginner level, you can. If you are at a beginner level as Venom, you can just do this, because your newbie friends won't know how to counter this, what to do against this. So yeah, I think that's everything. I cover basically most everything. My conclusions with this character. There's also, keep in mind that Venom is not an easy character to play. Like you need to play a lot, not only in this game in general, but you also need to play him even more because of all the situations you can generate with this ball. This little motherfucker here changes everything. It forces the opponent to do something like either jump, either going under. You need to also evaluate how the opponent plays around the ball and act accordingly. That's why Venom Septa is so strong, because besides of just forcing the opponent, he can also use it to cover spots that his normal doesn't. Like for example, this ball covers could cover a spot that 6p that the 6p don't. And yeah, you can either force the opponent to do something, cover the weaknesses of your normals with them, and yeah, people say I hear people say that Venom is a very strong character, like high tier character. I don't think so personally, um, because well, he has a lot of potential with an infinite skill ceiling. The match of speed and some of his limitations doesn't help either. But if you're if you're still disposed to play this character, well, I hope this. If you find this, I hope this helped you. So yeah, that's about it. See ya.